Great morning. Guys, let's give it up for Autumn. Let's give it up for Charlene. Let's give it up for Dion. Let's give it up for Greg. Let's give it up for Kevin. Let's give it up for Nancy. Let's give it up for Ray. We can't forget Ron and Don. We can't forget Robert Cherry. We can't forget Trevor Green. Guys, I hope that I've given everybody a shout out on this call. I don't want to miss anybody, man. Thank you guys for joining. Obviously, this is our company call. It's that one time a week where we get a chance to fellowship together and just share our experiences, good or bad. Obviously, right, get a message for the week so that we can close out the week strong. So with that being said, you guys know how I like to start off these calls with the 1K earners. Our 1K earners, of course, they're the backbone of this company. But I got some disappointing news. This week, we don't have any 1K earners. Can you guys believe that? Everybody said thumbs down. Everybody put your camera on, right? And I want to see you put the thumbs down for me. Put the thumbs down for me. Everybody, yep. I want to make sure I see everybody. Hold up. Let me make sure I see everybody. Oh, take it. Everybody, thumbs down. Thank you guys, man. First and foremost, man, obviously, right, I asked everybody last night on the call, which we didn't have everybody, but obviously, right, I want everybody to make sure they come to this call with their cameras on. Why? Because I want to be able to face you. I want to be able to see you, right? I want that frequency with you. That's really how you really create that camaraderie. So with that being said, thumbs down, because this week we do not have any 1K earners. Now, it happens that way sometimes, but obviously, right, I want to talk about how to recover. And a few things come to mind when I think about how to recover, right? But obviously, the biggest thing is to, in life, guys, you gotta want to get what you want. You guys are gonna want to get what you want, right? I mean, it happens inside of. Let me get you back in here, Cedar. Each of us from the time that we were honestly babies, right? We've always been accustomed to getting what we want. Now, some people are more spoiled than others because they actually, maybe they have parents that can give them things, right? But obvious things is that once you become a grown up, right, you have to start providing for yourself. And then you have to become pretty persuasive, right? And I want to share with you guys a story, right, that just touched me and it hit home, right? On Valentine's Day, it just so ended up, obviously, that we were actually in the hospital. And while we were in the hospital all day on Valentine's Day, we were happy. Don't get me wrong, right? Because we got a chance to lay in the bed. Even though it was a hospital bed, we got a chance to lay in the bed together, man. So, and a lot of times we don't get a chance to do that. So Misha and I, we were very happy. We didn't expect to be in there so long though, right? So we didn't get out of the hospital till about 6:30 at night. And then we get home, right? And obviously Misha had a procedure done. She was in an immense amount of pain. I watched it. I seen it. Women are gods, by the way. And by the time we get home, it's still Valentine's Day, guys. And, I'm just like, hey, baby, let's get dressed. Let's go out, and she's like, no, baby, you got work to do. She's thinking of me like, you got work to do. You wasn't able to bring your computer to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, not at all. Let's get dressed. Let's go out. So we ended up getting dressed and we're going out. But by the way, guys, because, we spent the whole day, there was really no plans made for Valentine's Day, right? But that's something that I always pride myself on. I'm pretty persuasive when I need to be, right? So we drive all the way out to Jersey. Do I know where we're going? No. But, I follow the water, right? I think to myself, like, what's the best areas in Jersey that I really know are being built up right now? So I go there. That's where I started at. Then I Googled in the area, 5-star restaurants, that type of deal. And I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was looking for. I was looking for ambiance, right? I'm looking for a skyline. I'm looking for, the last thing I'm thinking of is good food at this point, right? I'm thinking ambiance. I want to just be with my baby right now at this point. You know what happens, right? I get there. It's hard to find parking, so I got to double park for a while, right? Then, of course, I get out the car, go inside the restaurant, and the restaurant is fully packed. I mean, of course, I need reservations, right? So now my persuasive skills have to kick in now at this point. So now I go to the counter and I'm speaking to the girl and, she's like, no, we don't have anything available. I'm sorry. And this is all she keeps saying to me is, I'm sorry. And I just keep smiling harder. Hey, what do we have, maybe at the bar, right? And, I start there, right? Like you got to say yes to me at some point. Yeah, well, you can honestly go to the bar. And when I heard that first yes crack, guys, I was excited. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go take a look at the bar, right? So I go look at the bar. Now, inside of my head, I know I can't sit at the bar. I got a pregnant woman with me. What do I look like with a pregnant woman at the bar, right? And it's Valentine's Day. No, we got to do better than this. But again, I want what I want, right? And I'm pretty persuasive when I need to be. So I go back to the counter. I'm like, hey, I looked at the bar, great, but I got a pregnant woman with me, right? And then I soften up my vocal tones. I'm still smiling, by the way, and I get a little closer to her ear so that she can hear me because there's noise and there's a lot of people around. So it's a lot for her to focus on, and she's not focusing on me just yet, right? So obviously, she's like, oh, you know, let me see what I can do. So now that went from a hardcore stern, no, we don't have reservations. You cannot get in here. So we possibly got space at the bar. And now I moved the bar up a little bit to, you know what, let me see what I can do. Right now, obviously, I got to use all I got. Now, of course, I had to use the we're pregnant thing, right? So obviously, right, I got to wait for a little bit. So I go back to the car. I sat in the car, which is double parked, by the way, with Misha. And she's like, hey, what's going on? And you know me, right? I'm calm, cool, collected, right? I'm a little worried. Why? Because we might not be able to get in here. We might not have a good Valentine's Day. I done told her to get dressed. We done drove her all the way out to Jersey. She probably don't even want to be in the car with me right now. She's probably upset. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, baby, it's all right. Right, she gets back on her phone, which I'm happy about because sometimes Instagram is enough of a distraction for her where she'll, kind of zone out a little bit. So I'm cool. So about half an hour go past. Of course, she hit me. I was like, yeah, it's just gonna be about a half an hour. A half an hour go past, and she hit me like, hey, it hasn't been a half an hour yet. so, so at this point, I'm like, yeah, baby, it's been a half an hour. Hold on for me 1 second. By the way, guys, I'm still double parked. So I run back inside the spot and it's more packed inside the spot. I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna maneuver this? Right. So again, I wait my turn with a smile. And again, guys, a good attitude will get you everywhere. A good attitude will get you everywhere. Even if you don't have money in your pocket, you just need a good attitude. I promise you're gonna get everything that you want. So again, they saw me standing to the side. And at some point, I'm smiling so hard, I'm making good eye contact. At some point, she calls me over and said, hey, it's just going to be about 10 minutes more. Okay. I said, absolutely. I really appreciate you. Since you said it's going to be about 10 minutes, I'm honestly going to go get her. She's pregnant. I didn't want her waiting in the lobby. She says, oh, no. Okay. Well, listen, give me about 15 minutes, but then bring her in. Okay. All right, great. So now she's on my side, right? It went from a hardcore stern no to her being on my side. She is really going to take care of me now. So obviously right now I got to figure out the double park thing. What do? I jump back in the car. I run and find parking. We find parking. We get out. It's cold, by the way. We get inside the spot. And sure enough, when she saw her eyes lit up. Why? Because I've been talking about this pregnant woman that I got with me all night, right? I didn't use this as a tool. So of course it goes from, oh, hey, how you doing? You'd have thought they were best of friends, like as if they knew each other, right? So now all of a sudden, it's a good conversation. Hey, do you have any kids? No, I don't have any kids, but I treat my nephews just like they're mine. And honestly, I know what you're going through and we're going to get you a seat and all. Great, honestly, right? So we're just smiling. Hey, by the way, I'm going to let your manager know that that you deserve a raise, right? Of course, smiles go off at this point, right? I'm still working her over. So of course, she take us to a great seat. We're right next to the violinist and everything else, right? And, and the one thing that I forgot was the food, honestly, right? Right? I don't know what the spot and the food tastes like. I'm so persuasive in making sure that we got a good spot to eat at, right? I honestly did forget about the food. And if you guys know anything about high-end food, it never tastes as good as just going around the corner to the chicken spot. You know what I'm saying? So I said this to you guys because I just need for you guys to understand that that's how much I believe in me. That's how persuasive I am, right? And I live my life like this every day. From the time I wake up, whatever I want, I feel like I can have. I know I can have because, my persuasive skills. Now, by the way, you want to be persuasive, not persuaded, right? Because a lot of times, man, on your road to greatness, guys, you can definitely get distracted with so many other opportunities that will really only create more roadblocks for you. Staying consistent is the only way that you're going to be able to hit your goals. Truly. I read a book 2 years ago. It's called The One Thing. I remember by the name of Gary Keller, I believe his name is now at this point, right? I can't remember his name, but I believe Anyway, you guys look it up. This book has been very important to me because it taught me how to focus. Before that, I just thought I was being a hustler. I was doing a little bit of everything. I was persuasive, but I was also persuaded. And that right there just made a bad mix. I wasn't able to focus. I wasn't able to get a hold on my income. I wasn't able to build the way that I'm building now. I wasn't able to influence others the way that I'm able to influence now. And I'm sharing this message with you because, for somebody on this call, I know that you have the same persuasive skills and you maybe don't hone them as hard as I do because I hone these babies. I use them. You know what I'm saying? I go get a rental car. I'm getting the best rental car for the cheapest price. I promise you, right? Just yesterday, they wouldn't let me upstairs to see my baby, but I persuaded them to let me upstairs, right? The idea is that I hone my skills. And I know that you guys are the same as me, but you're also being persuaded, right? And I don't want you to be persuaded anymore. I want you guys to stay focused on your opportunity, and you're going to have everything that you need to have in abundance. Hopefully that helps to fill you guys out. Now, the next thing is, guys, is the training manuals, right? We got training manuals coming for B2B and for B2C, right? These have been a week in the making now at this point, right? And we really put our heart and soul into them. And I thought to myself, well, what's going to be different about our training manuals than other companies' training manuals? Because training manuals are boring. Even me saying it right now, I'm like, a manual? What the hell am I going to do with a manual, right? That sounds too much like a book, right? And I just thought to myself, like, well, let's make our manuals full of questions. Literally, give them the questions. Why? Because people don't like to ask questions. And I get it. I understand it, right? It's embedded in us not to ask questions. Why? We're going to think that we seem foolish. We're going to think that we don't know it all. And by the way, we don't, right? But the smarter person only knows that we don't know it all. The obvious thing is that you want to be able to ask more questions so that you can get more done, so that you can be more of a resource for the company, for yourself, and for others, right? And then that you can start to build. So look forward to these training manuals. Obviously, B2B is in a growth spurt right now. They're looking at new acquisition offers, and we got to get ready. We got to get ramped up. We got to get fully excited about it. Post-COVID now, right? We're coming up out of this thing like champs, right? I feel like we're bobbing and weaving really well. We know the phone. We know how to work on the phones a little bit more. We definitely know how to work optics a little bit more. Now at this point, we're going to focus on new acquisition sales and getting back into the field and kicking ass. And I'm super excited about that. And whatever happens, what happens when we go through a growth phase, by the way, is others have to grow. Now, most people think like, oh man, the company's growing. Yeah, the company's growing because the people inside of the company is growing. And that means there's a lot of opportunity coming, guys, right? In the coming weeks, in the coming month or so, you guys are going to see where people start to step up. You're going to have conversations with people that you didn't know that was training this hard. You didn't know that was consuming a huge amount of information and regurgitating it to you. And they're ready and willing now because they want to train what they know, right? They want to train what they know so that they can get to the next level, because the next level is waiting on them. So with that being said, your growth is a must here. Do not think that you can hide. One of the reasons why I always shout each and every one of you guys out is because I don't want you guys to get on this call and feel like you can hide from me, because you cannot. Just because you turn that screen off, that don't mean that you can hide from me. You can't hide from success. You can't hide from being resourceful. You can't hide from being powerful. These things are, these things are, it's a very big difference, right? And if you've been in the habit of hiding, I want you to get out of that habit right now. Your growth is a must. The book club that we just started, right? It's a part of that. It's a part of that. Why? Because I know self-development is important, right? A lot of you guys are going to be starting your entrepreneurial journey. And on your entrepreneurial journey, right, that's all about how much you put into you. Owning and operating a business, or even being an independent contractor, right, is probably the ultimate, it's probably the ultimate gift that you can give yourself into self-development. Why? Because you have to train in so many different areas of your life. You have to look at your weaknesses and really build on your weaknesses. And it's going to be hurt. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt, right? You're going to have to hear some things. You're going to hear a lot, right? That things that may even trigger you, right? Like, man, when he said that, I didn't like that, right? Well, you know what was he saying it to help, or was he saying it to hurt? Oh, you're saying it to help though. Okay, then don't be triggered the wrong way by it, right? Let it make sure that it resonates with you and say, hey, why did you say that? Or maybe let's just look at this as a different way so that we can kind of get past it, so that we can actually grow from it. Because I know that those are the moments and those are the times where I receive the most growth, right? I can't be comfortable all the time and think that I'm growing. That's not the way that this thing works. So the book club honestly helps with that. Right now, we're reading the book, The 4 Agreements. You guys should be a few chapters in now at this point. Let your words be impeccable is one thing that comes comes to mind that I've already read inside the book, some that I've learned at this point. But there is a lot of gems. I promise you, when you're reading this book, guys, you're going to need your highlighter out. You're going to need to be highlighting certain things. And whether it's one sentence that changed your life, then that was worth it. This book club is worth it, right? So look forward to more on that, right? But obviously, right, we're going to meet again on March 5th. March 5th, we're going to be there alive and alert. And we're going to discuss the book club as well as have our team night, right? So that's every month, by the way. Now, don't forget, Door to Door has a winner bonus. Door to Door has a winner bonus. Has a winner bonus. Get hyped about it. Why? Because that's more money in you guys' pocket, right? And that's exactly what I want to see. You know, I can't wait till I can't wait till we cutting checks, man. It's so big that you got to come pick them up. That we almost got to meet at the bank. Right. And I know it's very much so possible. Now, right now, right, everyone has the opportunity, but you got to be ready for it. Right. So now at this point, we're going to focus on the sales. As a sales company, we should be more focused on the sales. We're going to get back to basics. We're going to get back to role playing on these calls. We're going to get back to setting our goals on these calls. We're going to get back to hitting our targets as we should. Right. So with that being said, guys, that's all I got for you. I know that resonates with somebody. If you can, right, when we drop this on YouTube, jump back in the comments, man, and see what value you're actually getting back from these calls. Subscribe to our YouTube page, subscribe to our Instagram page, anywhere that we actually produce the value for you. I just want to make sure that they know that we're doing something to make that we got tools around you that honestly help. So with that being said, I love you all, and I will see you guys soon. Kick ass this weekend, kick ass today, kick ass tomorrow, guys. Close out the week strong. No more zeros.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Yeah.